Hello.
Hello, players, and welcome to the Nisei Project Black Lives Matter charity tournament. I'm Hollis Echo, and I'm joined with Jason. Some of you may know him from the seediest location on the internet. Jason, how are you doing today?
I'm doing quite fine. I just had to turn off the stream because I forgot about the feedback loop. Yes, from a very, very seedy location, and I do not recommend you go there for various reasons. Right now, we're here to try and raise money for the Bell Project, and in this wonderful, wonderful charity event. We have lots of lovely players joining us, and I hope we can all have a good time.
I'm pretty excited, Jason. I'm going to be honest. I haven't really been hanging around the Netrunner streets, the proverbial Netrunner streets, in a minute. But to be back here, being able to watch some exciting gameplay, to be able to see some of the fan favorites make an appearance, it's going to be a really good afternoon of Netrunner. Are there any particular things today that you're expecting to kind of stand out?
Well, I'm going to be very interested to see which direction the game's been pushed in, because I've been rallying with my silent protest with Custom Bartics and Exile that there is something fundamentally interesting that needs to be done with this game, and I'm looking forward to seeing how this game plays out, so I can get everyone to play Custom Bartics and Exile, and maybe help some people and have a wonderful time. As for that, I'm looking for how people gain their money. That's what I'm really looking for, because I'm very interested in money engines, and from what I've seen on the list of the ideas people have chosen, I'm wondering if they're all going to use the same method for gathering money. I don't know if you're going to be looking for anything in particular, like maybe ways they're going to access or IDs, but I'm more interested in how people are going to gather their money.
I think that in this tournament, given what we've seen from Worlds in 2019, I think that one of the biggest things that I'm expecting is to see how the prevalence of APOC decks sort of like shape out and sort of dictate how corps are going to try to be adjusting to that game plan. I know that they were, that was a very popular deck in 2019. Moving forward, of course, we haven't really been able to have a lot of events that are going to be in person because of things happening in the world. But with cards like DDoS going through some changes, I want to see if it's going to shake things up. It looks like table one is ready to go, so we're going to switch right on over here to look at that game. We're going to try to give our best play-by-plays here for what's happening.
Oh, we got one person, got a plural singular in table one. Okay, I'm going to be bouncing around, just checking everyone else here, because it seems that some people have managed to get to the tables and some have not. I think someone must have hit a few walls of stack along the way. I'm going to recommend everyone get their barrier breakers out and crack the access to those tables. As for the APOC situation, I remember when APOC first came out. I was actually quite a big fan of it, considering, because APOC Exile, no one, even though if I told you it was in the deck, you'd still be surprised when it happens. I do not know the context of why APOC is going to be so popular now. I mean, my only concern with that would be is like how much is of their rig is the runner giving up? Because if they're able to discard their rig like that and continue and win the game, I don't know what kind of setup they must have, because again, I do not know anything about the new cards. I have a idea about these new cards. I'm looking forward to seeing how they play out. I've got access to all the new cards here, and I have some wild theories, but I don't want to say anything about them unless I understand how it plays out. My biggest concern would be the lack of things that happen in archives. And by that, I mean, I have a deck, which is Titan. And in this deck, I have Space Camp. I have the Dome one with Jinteki, which causes meat damage when it's in archives. And I've got like all copies of those. And so when the runner runs on archives, they tend to get stung a bit. So I do not think there's enough cards that activate from archives to prevent the usefulness of APOC. So I would not be surprised if I do see a lot of APOC in this tournament.
I agree. I think APOC is going to be very big here. In general, you can't do much better than preventing the corp from having any answer whatsoever, right? So the ability to play an APOC deck and just shut down the entire game plan by the corp and run rampant through their servers, I think that's still going to be a prevalent strategy here today. I'm interested. I want to know if there's going to be a lot of corp decks that are going to be going for kill options as a means to end the game very quickly, as opposed to deal with the mid to late game APOCs that will completely shut the game down.
Actually, that could happen. I can only imagine that if at this stage of the game, I can only imagine there must be so many ways for the corporation to counterattack. By example, I mean right now there are a lot of agendas that have punishments from when they're stolen. Jinteki is obviously net damage. I've also noticed that MBN has a credit waiting on it to stop it from stolen. I think that's going to be negated with MBN. HB had clicks, but I do not see. Oh no, they had one of program trashing as well. So there's lots of punishments to do when the cards are stolen, which I think is excellent, and the game does need that. I would just like there to be a way to mitigate this whole restart without some kind of. I understand. So let's say you get hit with an APOC. The corporation can fight back because you can't steal all the agendas straight away. I think that's the way the game should be. And I think that if the player had, let's say, was running Apex, there'd have to be a card with Apex that kind of finishes the corporation off, also to say. But again, I don't know what's going to happen. I'm very interested in finding out what's going to happen. And I'm just hoping that the money in the games don't get to be too high. Unlike our lovely charity event, which I hope gets as much money as it possibly can within a reasonable manner.
No, you're right. You're right about that. In fact, speaking of that, Jason, you mentioned it earlier. Of course, the charity, everything given today for charity is going to the Bell Project. That is a charity we're going to be giving to for this event. As it stands, the last number I received for where we are right now. Let me go back and check through it. It appears that right now the total amount we're at is around $5,187. Let's say around, but that's a pretty exact number at 5,000. Of course, Nisei is doing everything they can to add to that so we can get to 10,000. Now, I don't know what the upper limit for today is going to be for the total amount donated to the charity, but I want to take a brief moment to say thank you to all of those who have already donated, and I look forward to seeing those donations as they flow in throughout this entire event. What we're doing is something amazing here to support something like the Bell Project. So I really hope that I see everyone donate whatever they can. And if you're not, and if you can't, still, we thank you for being available to watch the stream and being a participant. And I also want to say good luck to all the players here. I'm really excited. I know that we often focus on that competitive aspect of the game. We focus on the players that are the most competitive. But it would be nice to also see some players just simply play some unique, I'm going to say off-meta things, if you will. That can always be fun.
Yes, that's a very wonderful sentiment, and I mirror that. Okay, so I just want to be clear that I play nothing but X-Line Custom Robotics, and you're going to hear about this throughout the tournament, and I'm going to be using it as an example to beat the players over the head with, let's say, standard rules of play. There are some players which like the scene. There are some methods and strategies which seem baked into the game, like when you run, when you check stuff. But there seems to be like optimal ways to do that. And as a base, whenever I talk about anything, I'm going to be referring to it from a point of view of custom robotics. This means that if anyone's playing Jinteki, I will have no idea what's happening.
Well, guess what? You don't have to wait long for that because it looks like Jinteki is one of the first decks we're going to be seeing today. It looks like on the corp side we've got plural playing Replicating Perfection, and it looks as though THL Anderson is playing Lila.
Okay. Oops, it is. It seems like for some reason I can't get to table 1. I'm looking for table 1, but all I'm saying is no. I thought I was in table 1, but I was actually on a table. Oh, there we go. Table 1. I've seen it. There we go. I'm being silly.
Oh, you're fine.
Right. Okay. A very nice opening there. Oh wow! So let me turn that down because I nearly went deaf. Okay.
So Plural, as I can tell, looks like he had a very, I'm going to say, traditional start for Replicating Perfection. The early game Sundew went ahead and tried to protect R&D as quickly as possible, but left HQ open. Now it appears that THL Anderson was able to run HQ and nab a House of Knives right at the start of the game, which is solid. Leela Patel doing what Leela does.
Yep, exactly right. Now, we mentioned APOC in the beginning here. Leela Patel is one of those runners that does not need. She can do this without breakers, so to speak. So if an APOC happened here, and if it ends up in archives, this would be the runner you'd want to have that. So that puts me a little bit on edge for the runner here, for the corporation here. But then again, the corporation is Jinteki, so I'm not too worried about Jinteki, to be honest.
And I mean, Replicating Perfection has a history of maybe that a bit of a slow start in the beginning where you have to make sure each of the centrals are safe and protected, so it's not easy access. But once those start to get locked out, it becomes very, very difficult for the runner to be able to go through, trash all the assets that are making Replicating Perfection money.
Oh yes, that's why. I don't know if the name is known worldwide, but here in jolly old England, we called Replicating Perfection the Fun Police. I don't know where that name originated from, but yes, whenever someone plays it, we say Fun Police. Oh, Fun Police! I understand what's happening. There we go. We've got some lovely. Oh, so we've got some lovely table talk here. Everyone is having a nice, wonderful time. Oh, okay. So for some reason, my screen turned over to a lovely image of the prize list. Okay, so I'm just looking at all these plastic IDs and all these scrubbers and stuff. Wow, that is a very long prize list. It's like almost every card in the game has some kind of representation here. With the latest one I saw was this I Had Worse. It looked very inspirational. I actually want that. I wish that was a card. That was a thing I could get right now, but unfortunately I can't. We have to play the game and wait for it to come out like a. Oh, sorry. Okay, sorry. I got distracted by the lovely art there, and forgot why we were here. That's how good the art is.
It's gorgeous. I mean, I'm really impressed by the prizes, and I think we're gonna take a second to talk about the actual prizes. What's up for grabs for this tournament?
Okay. Let me see. So.
Oh,
I mentioned.
So, looking at the game here, it appears that Leela Patel was able to actually check both of those remote servers. So, on Plural side, he placed 2 cards face down as spare servers, but it looks like he was trying to sneak out a Phylotic Entanglement. And THO Anderson was like, "I'm not having none of that. I'm taking it right now."
Okay, that is a very brave and bold move there. This is one of those optimal strategies that I was trying to mention before. You have to check everything. By checking everything, no matter how much you suffer, you tend to win. Oh wow! Okay, and the game's over.
Yes.
Check everything. He's done it.
Yes, I mean, really, Jason, you nailed it. I mean, often what you see Replicating Perfection try to do is simply get so many assets out to generate economy or additional card draw, or maybe even try to deal out a little bit of net damage. It makes the runner have to make these very precise, specific runs. In this case, the early game score from Leela and the ability to punch that ice right back on up allowed this game to kind of be to run amok with Leela. Leela was able to go through, systematically check every single card played, and found the right agendas. In this case, I mean, it was over in just a few turns. That's unfortunate for Plural.
I know, and this brings up a issue I have with some of the earlier cards. But the thing is, the criminal was the correct choice because this criminal, yeah, exactly, having the cards bounce back retards the game state because you literally can't play the game properly if you keep having all your stuff undone. And then if you manage to finally get all your stuff down and then you get apocalypse, you have to restart all over again, and it's devastating. And the
Rough.
best part is you tend to not need breakers, and it's rough on both ends there. So that's why I have questions about that criminal ability. In my humble opinion, and again, it's not. I think that ability that Rita has is a bit too powerful. That is just my opinion there. I think that ability should have maybe been an anarch ability, maybe, and you need like to use a token to limit the number of times you can use it, or something. You need some kind of check or balance on that. I think it's a bit too powerful. But it was wonderfully well played, and I think. Oh, where's the second game? Because I'm told that the second game should be happening.
It is. It is active. It is active now. We are seeing plural, and this time playing Sonny LeBeau and T.H.L. Anderson, of course, playing not of course playing Sports Metal, which for me is a little fresh. I haven't had a chance to play with Sports Metal, but whenever an agenda is scored or stolen, gain 2 credits or draw 2 cards.
Ooh, and the speed.
Yes.
Now this is the kind of this is the kind of thing that I think HB should have. It's a nice ability. It makes you efficient. The more you do it, the more you get. And the thing is, the number of times it can trigger is quite a lot if you have lots of 1-point agendas. So that's what I'm expecting to see, and we might see a lot of remote spam.
And again, you called it here. T.H.O. Anderson wasting no time. He left R&D wide open, said, you know what, come in and check. Just take a peek. In the meantime, you can't get into HQ, and I'm going to go ahead and start my scoring remote right over here. Or is it, Jason? Is it a scoring remote? Could we be looking at Geo?
Could actually be. But I mean, odds are yes, considering what I would expect. I would expect lots of 1-point agendas, and again, even if agendas get stolen now, it'd actually be to the corporation's benefit because it would generate the early boost needed to draw more cards and spend money to advance and score these agendas. And yeah, and there you go, money or cards, and it took the money, and getting more money for runs. Okay, so this is great. I mean, this is so good on so many levels.
Oh yeah. Oh, absolutely. This early game score of this agenda, Advanced Concept Hopper. The first time the runner initiates a run each turn, you may draw 1 card or gain 1 credit. T.H.L. Anderson is starting this process of saying, hey, when an agenda is scored per turn, I'm going to be gaining more credits, more cards. That fast advance or never advance strategy is going to be just non-stop. You have to go with Sonny.
I mean, this would be I think this deck would have actually benefited from shipment from Mirrormorph. I mean, that was in the original core set. That was 1 credit. You spend 1 click and you install 3 cards. I mean, that card is now rotated and gone. Sorry. We just saw something trashed to archives here. That is the calibration testing, which is a replacement for Sansan, in my opinion, and it's
yes.
So lots of fast advance. So I'm expecting to see some sneaky stuff going on. I was expecting there to be a lot of asset spam, but that's not happening. You know, this it seems to be just rush, just build it up.
You're right. I'll tell you right now, this is very much reminding me of the early parts of Netrunner, right? Where you saw HP Fast Advance and NB Fast Advance as the most dominant decks at the time. Because, you know, in the beginning of the game, there was so little mitigation.
Yep. And what makes this wonderful is I think this is a more balanced version of that, because everything, it seems, can be trashed for a reasonable price. Because if you look through the archives, you'll notice that pretty much everything there can be trashed for at least 1 to 2 credits, which is quite reasonable.
Good catch.
So, yeah, and because most of the money is being spent on scoring agendas rather than resin the ice, I'm expecting the ice to be lots of gear check. I'd be very surprised if it's big ice. So, okay, checking archives again. Okay, so I'm just checking through archives again. because it's giving me far too much information.
You know, something I do want to point out something very interesting here. Yes, THL Anderson does have these agendas scored, and he's got that Vitruvius counter, which is going to be helpful here coming up. But
Yep.
Plural has 8 counters now on the turning wheel. That's 4 extra card accesses potentially that they'll have. When you're playing against a fast advanced deck and you've got to move as quickly as possible, I think Plural is soon going to be able to really start making some moves. Low on credits, but just a little credit bump. I think Plural is going to be able to break through HQ, R&D, take a look at 5, 6 cards, and we'll see some of that momentum swing back to Plural. But he's got to move fast. He can't wait.
Yeah, unfortunately, Plural has an awkward matchup here. He's chosen quite the reasonable runner, Sonny LeBeau. Sonny LeBeau is a monster in late game and mid game, I'd say.
Oh yeah,
but a very terrible early game. And unfortunately, TH Henderson has a great early game and mid game corporation here. I don't see Sports Metal doing very well in the late game.
right.
Even if it wasn't against Sunny, I think there'd be the whole main point of this game is to finish it fast, finish it early. Oh, he was going for a big dig. It looks like
Yes, there it is.
Plural access. Oh, what's that first card?
A mega pre-qualifier and another mega pre-qualifier. So it looks like Plural was able to hurry up and grab 2 agendas here. And this is great. I mean, granted, THO Anderson's already up with agenda points. But if Plural can keep digging and hitting these agendas. Oh, and I spoke too soon.
Yeah.
And his first project, is it Vacheron?
Was that sacrificed out? Was that audacity? The audacity of it all.
Yes, the audacity. And just like that, you know, THO Anderson's able to lock up this game, scoring that 5-3. A beautiful, in my opinion, well designed 5-3, might add.
Yeah, this is what the way Netmana should be, to be honest. I mean, I don't like the turtle Akuma too much as a breaker. It seems too good to me. But otherwise, I think that everyone's decks were quite reasonable. I think this is like a rock, paper, scissors kind of situation. And unfortunately, T.H. Henderson had the rock and Plural had some blunt scissors, unfortunately. So, I mean, it was a very well played game. So is that a split now?
I believe it was a sweep to Anderson. I want to say Anderson won.
Oh yeah, because also yeah.
This is really, and I want to say, just as a brief moment to both players, I agree with you, Jason. I think that we see these unique sorts of play styles that are going to basically be opposed, right? Sports Metal wants to go fast. You can't take a second. You really don't even want to get to mid game, really. You don't, and you definitely don't want to get to the end game or late game. You want to make sure that especially if your opponent's running Sunny, you are going and blitzing every agenda as fast as possible. Once Sunny is able to get that Amakua out, gets the rolling, starts having credits roll in, it's pretty hard to stop. Sports Metal doesn't have the teeth or the giant eyes to consistently keep runners out. So it's all about those early game scoring.
All right. Let me just have a look. Let me just pick one at random here. Ooh, let's have a look at table 46 because I got Bridgeman because I like that name, Bridgeman. It sounds like a Mega Man thing, and it's got an Anarch and a HB. So hopefully, maybe it's custom Baltics. You never know. Even though it's banned. Let's have a look.
Excellent.
Oh, and we have, let's see, ASA Group. I can never pronounce that correctly. And it seems to be asset spam, which is very interesting.
Oh, wow. All right. So, yeah, we have ASA Group versus the most kawaii princess known in Netrunner existence, Hoshiko Shiro. Straight out of the Dragons, right? As a wizard.
Yeah, it looks like she's been activated, and when your turn begins, draw 1 card and lose 1 credit. When your turn ends, if you did not access any cards this turn, flip down this identity. Oh yes, I remember this. I remember talking about this with you just before the stream started about how it's a wonderful story about how as long as she's running, she's happy and she's able to do all these amazing things. My only problem with this card is that the balance is, it seems it's too easy to access a card, in my opinion. I once you start accessing, I don't see it being easy to stop this, which is my only issue with this card. Oh God, sorry.
Well, no, we did talk about this right before we went live, in that Hoshiko, in general, Hoshiko and her kit, often that we see, is very difficult to sort of play around, right? Often we'll see it with APOC. And correct me if I'm wrong, is this look like it's in style of an APOC deck? Definitely. Yeah, because it looks like I see a lot of weird, interesting things, right? And I'm curious as to what is happening with this game plan. I can't wait. This is going to be exciting.
Yeah, I mean, I've got some concerns here because there's too many cards for Bridgeman to access here. So the 1 credit 1 card that's going to stay on the field. He's always going to be on like that. Asa normally just wants to install lots of upgrades into one server, thus allowing to get more free upgrades. So that's what I'm used to seeing. Although the asset play does get a boost from being able to install Ice Protect something straight away. Pardon me. And so I'm curious to see. If I understand the strategy correctly, it's to waste time and money for Bridgeman. However, Bridgeman's going to mitigate the time and money being wasted because of the free card draw and credits getting from his ID.
Okay, gotcha. Okay. Couldn't be happier to have you here, Jason.
No, it's just a theory. It took a lot of painstaking research to get this. I mean, imagine playing a blank ID for the entirety of the Netrunner lifespan, and then when you see that you're getting a credit and a card each and every turn, it's nothing but blinding.
Now, I will say there's so much happening on the ASA side, right? We've got 5 different servers, remote servers, are all set up. HQ undefended. I think, what is that? 8, 9 10 cards or something like that in the hand. I mean, there's so many things happening on the ASA side. No agendas are scored yet, and Hoshiko looks like it's going to be carrying a tag, so they feel safe with that tag currently.
Wait, so I didn't catch the last part of what you said there. Sorry.
It looks like Hoshiko is carrying this tag. Now, I do think that, of course, Dummy Box is helping.
Oh yeah, the Dummy Box is going to protect their resources. And is there a way to punish is there a way to increase the cost of the tag? No, it doesn't. Oh, okay. There's so many degenerate things that could be possibly going on here, because if you notice that you've got rogue trading there, which generates the tags, and you've got something to stop yourself from being trashed. So I think that the tags might get floated, because you also got John Murray in the trash. So maybe being tagged is part of the strategy.
That's interesting.
Oh, it's happened. Oh my God, I'm so sorry to cut you off here. The Cybernetics Court has been rezzed. Yes, excellent. Yes, okay, I am now at full attention. Okay, now are we going to see kind of a CI build here? I don't know what's happening. We are now in Rocky Land. We don't know what's going to happen.
I didn't expect to see I 100% did not expect to see Cybernetics Court today. She was not prepared for that.
I was kind of curious, considering how many cards are in hand and number of cards being drawn. And there's lots of the new cards I've seen in HP that does card draw. So it's nice to see the Cybernetics Court being used. I'm concerned that it's not defended. I would want to shut down Hiroshiko as much as early as possible.
Well, it looks like we're about to see a lot of momentum. Take a look at this, right? We've got Cybernetics Court. The hand is increased. We've got Mumba Temple. So we've got free credits to res assets and upgrades, or to res cards, excuse me. And then we have Jeeves Model Biroids, Jason. Now we know what's really going on here. I think you're right. I think we're looking at some huge wombo combos about to come out of ASA.
Oh, gosh, this is so exciting. Yes. Give it. Come on. Bring it. Yes. This is what I live for. I mean, I tried to make a CI deck out of custom robotics, and it went close to this. Let me see. Let's have a look here. So the asset spam is planned because of the fully operational. That's going to generate a lot of money. So the math on the CI is, as I understand it, it's 11 credits plus the operation credits. Pardon me. And then you need the cards. Now, I've seen no influence so far besides the Mumbad Temple. So what the situation could possibly be is there could be some kind of combo that's going to happen, or there could be some very nice prizes when accesses happen, depending on the type of ASO we're dealing with here. Because right now, ASO is using the custom biotic strategy. You do not know what is happening. There's too many questions on the field, and Bridgeman is not checking, which is fine. Because you either check or you do not check. If you do not check, you set up your board for your optimal game strategy. And the game strategy seems to involve tags. And I have theories as to what the strategy is, and I don't say because it might upset the game.
Well, check this out. If you look over on Bridgeman's side, God of War has been played. For those of you that are following along at home, when your turn begins, you may take one tag to place 2 virus counters on God of War. You can spend a host of virus counter to break an ice subroutine, and you can pay 2 credits to give God of War 1 strength. And this breaker breaks whatever it wants.
Yeah,
whatever it wants.
This is a model breaker to me because it's so anarch. It gives you tags, correct? If you don't use it correctly, when you begin to take one, take one tag.
Yes.
See, that's the way anarch should be. You should be suffering, not just in the narrative sense, like Hiroshiko suffers, unfortunately, but she only suffers in the narrative sense versus the gameplay sense, from my understanding, from what I see here. And issue I have with the trickster with the trickster cat. Let me see. So it has So when your turn ends, if there are 3 or more hosted credits, then you must take 1 tag. Oh, there we go. Some nice suffering there. So that's it. And that's suffering must happen. Oh, okay. Oh, sorry. Sorry, Hollis. I just want to get your opinion on this. The Obelix. So what? Okay, I think you've got a strategy here. So, what does Obelix seek? My eyes are terrible. I can't read Obelix properly.
Sorry. Obelix, of course, 4 cost hardware console plus 1 MU. Your maximum hand size is increased by 1 for each tag you have. So think about how that plays into what Bridgman's trying to do. Additionally, Obelix says the first time a successful run on R&D or HQ ends, draw 1 card for each card you access during that run. So in this case, Bridgman, the fact that they're floating tags means that their hand size is going to be massive. So a whole slew of options is going to be available to them. And then on top of that, the tags ensure that God of War is able to break fairly consistently here. I don't think also Bridgman's worried about anything like a closed accounts or anything like that from HB. So there's a very little worry here about getting scorched out or remove or all credits being gone.
Okay, so we talked about optimal strategies. I've mentioned optimal strategies before. Okay, the choice to check or not check. So Bridgman has chosen to set up and not check. So now the Bridgman might be able to start accessing whatever they want to access. And I think that might be a dangerous proposition at this point, unless they can heavily access R&D, maybe, or unless they want to start trashing these assets, because I don't know if they're in a position to trash all these assets and afford it. Because from what I can see, I cannot pronounce this analysis. How would you pronounce?
Which one?
Analyze. Oh, okay. Analyze this. Oh, that's a good pun. I love that. Oh, how could I not seen that? Analyze Chris. Oh, I love that. Okay, Analyze Chris has a wonderful sup here, because if Bridgman trashes the assets in the wrong order, as soon as Analyze Chris scores something with a fast advanced tech or something like that, they can start bringing back all these assets and cause a lot of hassle for Bridgeman with the efficiency they're going to build. And that is a wonderful strategy. It's HB has variations on this, and I love this variation, especially with the Lakshmi smart fabrics. So even if Bridgeman does access an agenda, there's a chance that we're not going to be able to steal it, and that is going to be devastating to Bridgeman's efficiency. So the strategy seems to be from Analyze Chris is to raise their efficiency and decrease Bridgeman's efficiency. Bridgeman's efficiency seems to be to increase their efficiency by floating tags and making those tags cost money, because Analyze Chris seems to be low on funds right now.
That's true. And you know what? I think this is quite interesting to me. The fact that Bridgeman is able to float all of these tags and clearly, has cards that provide additional advantages for having tags. It's sort of unfortunate that Analyze Chris is running so low on credits. Granted, Bridgeman is able to defend against certain cards being trash, but for Analyze Chris, it's not even really an option to be able to get rid of some of these incredibly useful resources on Bridgeman's side.
Yes, and this is another thing I talked about with you before the start of the stream. One key issue I have with the game, well, there's another key issues I have with the game, but the key issue is with the number of credits. When a corporation is low on credits, that is a punishment for the corporation, and that is supposed to happen. If the corporation doesn't manage their money, they go bust and they're defenseless. Bridgeman being able to defend against the tags is a wonderfully anarchic thing, and they should be able to play around the tags. However, at this point, the tags are now a benefit, and there is no suffering, and that is what concerns me. If there was some kind of way for the corporation to get money quickly, for example, let's say there was a card that if the runner has 10 credits or higher, let's say, then the corporation can gain money from them, or can gain X amount of money. Like let's say it's secondary hedge fund, but gives you free credits. Like let's say no beanstalk royalties, but only if the runner has 10 credits or more. Or maybe a hedge fund at 0 credits, but only if the runner has like 10 credits or more, something like that. Just too big to fail. That is too big to fail. Yes,
too big even.
Yeah, too big to fail. Yes, that's it. So Wellen has the answer, which is why I love that core set. Anyway, so back to this. I'm sorry, I went off of there. I got way too excited about this. I'm just waiting for the hammer to drop. So I don't know why it seems to have stalled out. Has the game stalled out?
No. It's still going strong for me.
Okay. Oh no, there was some game talk there with between Bridgeman and Analyze Chris, and it's a very good hit. That's what I love about this game. I mean, everyone's just analyzing the board state here. Oh, there seems to have been a misclick. It's cool. It's fine.
Yeah, I mean,
the number of people.
The players, they're being friendly. It's a charity tournament. This isn't Worlds. You know what I mean?
You know what made me laugh? Even at Worlds, I found that people were mildly generous. So maybe you'd have to set ground rules, like maybe forgive one mistake before you start trying to get judges involved. But I found that if you state outright from the thing, like, okay, I understand mistakes can happen, and I'll give you one mistake if you give me at least one mistake. But after that, if we keep making mistakes, then we might have to get a judge involved. As long as you did that, the game kind of went more or less smoothly. I found that it happens more in this game than in other games. In other games, it tends to be, no, I need to win. But in this game, it needs to be more about having fun playing the game. I don't know if that's your thoughts or feelings on the matter. I might have different ones there, but so far I feel lots of love.
I'm with you. I think I've had it both ways, and I really think it comes down from player to player. It's important if you're going to be sitting down at a table playing someone else, even if it's in the competitive. If you're in a competitive mindset and you're trying your best to win, it's important to have those conversations even at the start of the game, if you can, to say, hey, how actually forgiving are we going to be as players when we sit down? Is it the kind of game we're going to allow a take back or two, or absolutely not at all. You're a competitive player. You should not at all be. You should live with those mistakes. And I think, to be honest, anything in that spectrum is fine. But the players need to agree with what is going to happen. The rules come first. But if those players want to
I,
be relaxed, I think that's fine.
yeah, I can agree with that. One question, one thing that so the hand size limit for Analyze Chris is now 9, I believe. What is and Bridgeman is gone up to, is it plus 8 cards? So 5
Yeah.
plus 8 is 13. Okay, that is very interesting. So big hand size versus big hand size, and everyone just seems to be sampling their boards. I'm quite surprised by the lack of burst that Analyze Chris has, because this does not seem to be the kind of. Oh my god! I've just realized something. I've just realized the plot twist, and I don't want to say nothing because of my business. But there's so I attempted to make a deck similar to this, but Analyze Chris has solved the issue that I had with it, because I like to be like a special snowflake and not use all the best cards. Well, not the correct cards. I like to use the wrong cards just to see what happens. In my case, I try to use cards like Shipment from Mirror Morph, even though no one uses it. Advanced assembly lines.
Yeah, it looks like there's so many options here with all of these assets. I really am wondering if Analyze Chris is how he's gonna squeak out some more agenda scorings that are, a 5-3 or 4-2. Having this early game 5-3 is very strong. In that, it means that often in those sort of configurations for agenda scorings, Chris can breathe a little easier. The harder agenda, if you will, to score is already taken care of. He might be able to get by, or they might be able to get by with scoring a 4-2 or just 2 more 2-pointers. It's always more difficult, it seems, to score that initial 3-pointer.
I'm very confused, because if you look in Analyze Chris's archives, you can see a face-up calibration testing. So that would indicate fast advance. However, you've got the 3-2, that a 5-3 there, which is a big boy. So that does not have Glacier. So very mid range here. I don't know what's happening. This is such the custom botics move.
Right, and if it is a fast events deck, it's likely that the Analyze Chris is using a combo of tools to get the 4th and the 5th and even the 6th click, if possible, to score these larger agendas as quickly as they can. As it stands, I don't see how Bridgman is actually even shut out of any server in particular, because God of War effectively can break anything. As long as Bridgman has the available credits to do so, he can get in. And as you mentioned here, Jason, Analyze Chris doesn't really have a Glacier setup here. So it may be that his entire setup is very porous, lightweight ice, and he only needs a very small credit threshold to score his agendas.
My concern is with the break of God of War. It's far too balanced. It's far too fair a card. Normally, like I said with the turtle, it seemed a bit too powerful to me, and seems to give too much access. God of War actually has a punishment for overusing it. And the pump strength is quite high, but Bridgman does have access to the funds necessary, and it does. Okay. Hikishiro is down. She is not happy. So when your turn ends, if you've accessed at least one card this turn, gain 2. And flip side, well, Hikishiro can access. So so it's possible. Hikishiro can access. So Hoshiko, I'm so bad. I'm sorry. I'm kind of not blind. So let me just figure this out. There we go. Okay, I can read the name.
And look at this. Actually, Analyze Chris decided to go ahead and purge all virus counters, meaning that God of War is officially dead in the water. Right now, it doesn't have the ability to break anything. So this may give Analyze Chris a window to go through, set up maybe a small brief scoring window for themselves, and try to get closer towards that end of the game. Bridgman still on 0 agenda points scored, but a lot of potential, a lot of cards out, a lot of cards in hand also. So an amazing amount of options for Bridgman at this point.
Yeah. Okay. What I'm going to do is I'm going to cut over to the Twitch chat. I'm just going to say hello to everyone. Are you having a good time? I'm looking at the Twitch chat. I don't think you're going to hear me now because it's going to be delayed. So I'm just going to look at the Twitch chat and see if there's anything nice going on. Who do you think has the advantage here at this point? That's a question there from Hetchko.
That's me. That's me. Sorry, I was asking the chat.
Okay, that's fine. Okay, that's yeah. The corpse scenes port. Sorry. Oh, Rotage. I love Rotage. Lakshmi can help versus the Big Dig. Yes, lots of it's a very big purge. Counter surveillance can do very little against Lakshmi, and yep. Okay. It seems like everyone's cottoned on here. See, my thing is here is, as I mentioned before, with Lakshmi, we can protect against a 3-point agenda now. So not only does Bridgman have to access 2 or 3 times, but there's no resin going on here. So you've got 9 credits. So Hollis, I want to. Oh, sorry. I just want to ask you a theory on this. Remember I mentioned before about the money.
Yes.
Okay. Oh no, Bridgman. Does Bridgman have access to enough money to be able to allow Bridgman to run multiple times? Do you think that's the case?
That's going to be tough. God of War takes 2 credits to boost its strength. So, granted, Bridgman has a fair amount of credits on their board side to, quickly, grab a large amount of credits, right? But my concern is, unless it's all popped at once for a really big guaranteed run, just the fact that Lakshmi has 3 counters on it gives Analyze Chris a huge advantage here. Someone in chat mentioned, I want to say actually it was Grayfield points it out, right? Grayfield says, you've got to empty out the Lakshmi, because if you don't, then that means that Analyze Chris is able to say, hey, come get it. You're going to have to go through Lakshmi first, though. And in that meantime, this agenda is going behind a piece of ice. So you're going to have to make effectively 2 runs and drain your credit pool to get here.
Oh, and look at the use of all this resin boosting Lakshmi's tokens again. This is quite devastating. I mean, it wouldn't be devastating if it wasn't for that 3-pointer already in Analyze Chris's score area. No, this is done so well on so many levels. The problem with this deck in Custom Botics is Custom Botics is too slow. It doesn't have click savings you get from installing multiple things in the server and protecting it with the ice at the same time. Because if this was a standard game, Bridgman would have been able to access and afford to trash it and maintain the idea ability.
No, I think you're right here. I think that it being Asa allows for a large number of additional actions. Ultimately, that's helping Analyze Chris so much here in this game, just to be able to have all of the available time to play all these cards. Oh, we have a run on this server with is it Hagen or Hagen?
Ooh. To me, it looks like Hagen, which is what I'm going to say, and I apologize if that's wrong. That is a very... Okay, that's not a Biroid, that's a barrier, it's not a Biroid. Okay, that's fine. This ice has -1 strength for each icebreaker installed, only 1. Oh, yes, it's to be anti-AI.
Yeah, and that's so interesting that this is in there. It's almost as if Analyze Chris knew that they would encounter Amakua in God of War. Almost as if.
Almost as if. Oh gosh. Another thing I think needs to be in the game, as I think there needs to be like what's it called? I think Bioroids need to have some ability that lets them be anti-AI. Like barriers need to be strong against AI or something like that naturally, so that AIs help you stop getting yourself killed or stop getting your credits messed with by code gates and sentries. But I think that barriers should be able to stop AI. and you'd need like a dedicated
That
barrier
would be,
breaker.
that'd be an interesting like direction for that design space, is to make McBarraids more specifically good against different kinds of breakers more often. That's an interesting. I like that idea.
Yeah, because then it's like, oh, it's like, yeah, okay, you can click through if you want to click through. You have to. It's like, oh, the AI can't handle this. It's too complex. I have to use my human brain to get through it manually. And I like that thematically. What is that? Is that 2 Gods of War? Sorry,
Yes, it is. That
okay,
is 2 of them.
Okay, we have now entered Rocky Land. Here we go. I can hear the music playing. We've got 17 tags. I do not know what's going to be the tags. Dun, 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 dun. Here comes the big swings.
This is a hand of think about that. The max hand is plus 17 at this point for Bridgman. That's insane. That's insane.
Imagine having the whole stack in the hand. Oh gosh, how does that work?
I don't even know. But Analyze Chris is looking good here. I mean, granted, right now Analyze Chris is poor if we were to look at credits, but Analyze Chris is at 5 points. He's very close to closing out the game. Now he's missing a lot of the fast advance or never advance tools that he had before, but again, Lakshmi doing work out here, potentially doing a lot of work.
I've never seen Lakshmi do this much work before, and in such a simple manner. I mean, this is brilliant. I mean, getting that early ice out there to protect it is the correct move, because I would expect, my expectation would be that Lakshmi would be trashed because it's only got like 1 piece of ice protecting it. But the amount of counters needed to break that ice. You'll need 2 counters now, I believe, right now. So here it goes. Here goes the run.
There it is. Bridgman deciding, you know what? I'm tired of this Lakshmi nonsense. Get it out of here. I don't want to see it anymore.
Yeah, because Analyze Chris is down to 2 credits. A very dangerous place to be. I mean, what can you raise for 2 credits? I mean, Gear Check is not going to be enough at this point, except if it was a Bioroid or if it was a card that could stop AI, then it would be. And there goes the Lakshmi.
Oh, man.
Okay, I just want to point out the bomb defusal. I don't know if you remember Prison Decks, but it was like the fusing bombs when the like prison games from Jinteki, and they had you had to trash the assets in the correct order. I think the key to this trashing plan was when he trashed team sponsorship, because if sponsorship wasn't trashed, then this would be in a lot of trouble right now, because all these assets would be coming back. And especially getting rid of the Cybernex core, that slows down a lot of stuff there, that forces a lot of stuff to be trashed.
Yeah, I keep saying this to you, Jason, but I think you called it. You know, the fact that Bridgman has determined things to trash in effectively the right order it may potentially put them back in the game here. It's still an uphill battle. I mean, with Bridgman being behind 5 points, a lot of work has to be done, and it's got to happen now. Analyze Chris is fairly low in credits. Oh, and that's a big res with Gatekeeper here.
I'm going to be honest. I expected Bridgman to have another play. I mean, there's a few players I expected to see, and I'm very surprised to not see it, because now would be an optimal time for it to happen. Oh, but no, the conditions are not correct. No, there's some conditions that need to be fulfilled, and I'm surprised they're not being fulfilled. I'm not going to say what those conditions are, what their play was, until the game's over, because I don't want to upset anything or spoil anything, because this is the unique situation where it's possible that like someone could, I know it's just a charity event and people are going to play with integrity, but I don't want to put stuff out there that could spoil the game. But
no, I agree with you.
Okay. So Hollis, I've got to ask.
Hit me.
What are your thoughts on Exile and Custobotics? Just pick one. Just give me some thoughts here. While this game's, because this game's maturing right now. I think Bridgman's doing some cleanup, so I'm not going to expect anything severe right now. Oh, what was res there?
I would say that there is a potential for some degenerate deck choices between those options. between Exile and you said Custom Biotics or CI?
Custom Biotics.
Yeah, there might be some space for some degenerate options. I don't know yet if those two particular choices should have any big sweeping changes yet. But what's your opinion?
Yes, they should have big sweeping changes. I'm thinking that Custom Biotics should go down to a 40 card deck, and the influence should go up to 25, or possibly even 30. And that like a Jinteki influence should cost double or something like that. That would be it. That would be the but it might be too powerful, but I'd love to see how that goes. I mean, I don't pretend that's going to work. That is just my crazy, unrealistic dream. I might hit you with some kind of moral revelation as to why I said that near the end of this tournament. But for now, I just wanted to bear that in mind. I will say that Nisei has done a wonderful thing by bumping Exile up to a 2-card draw. So there's a project out there to redesign Netrunner, and the balance was to give Exile a 2-card draw every time he does his thing. And I quite liked it. I wanted a 3-card draw, but 2-card draw seems to... Oh, here comes a run. I don't know what's in Sever 3. Are you seeing this?
I am. I wonder if it could be an agenda. Let's see. No.
Okay, that was still a good move. Go on.
Just I want to take a moment to notice the board state over on Bridgman's side. There's 3 cards available left in the stack. We don't know if there's going to be any kind of option to put things that are maybe in the heap or in the hand back into the deck. I doubt it very seriously, which means that we're coming up to the point where, granted, we don't know how many options Bridgman has in his hand, but some work has got to be done here. I think very, very quickly, because there's not a lot of time left as far as cards remaining in the deck. For Bridgman, soon economy options will run out. So Bridgman's got to take this opportunity now as fast as possible to score agendas as quickly as they can. And with me speaking too soon, as 2 get scored immediately.
I don't think that's a normal thing there. I think he's just taking advantage of an agenda flood. Oh, yep, and he's trashed the violent level clearance. Is that violent level?
Wow.
Yep.
Oh yeah, here we go. Grateful in the chat. Here we go.
Okay, I'm just checking the chat here. I see bags here. Oh, I don't have tats. I've got emotional scars. I've also got an official hat. Which if you watch my ad, if you go to the channel and there's like a 30-second ad from Custom Biotics, and I've got a Custom Biotics hat. I do have all the merch. Oh, Analyze Chris is thinking. See, now this is the situation I talked about. When the runner has too many credits and too much access, what can a corp do? The corp can't install anything, and the runner can just hang back and wait.
Right. I feel like we might be to the point where there's not really a lot of options remaining on Analyze Chris's side. I mean, the fast advance options are basically gone at this point. All they really have is the ability to increase their hand size, and their deck isn't really designed to be a full Glacier deck, right? So if these fast advance options or never advance options are now gone, and Bridgman's got a large bucket of credits just sitting and waiting, eventually Bridgman's going to be able just to say, "Hey, look, I'm checking everything in HQ, and you'll never see something new off R&D," and that'll lock the game for him. Lock the game up.
Yeah, I mean, lock should happen, but I think that the corporation should have a chance to lock out the runner. As horrible as that sounds. So I've got one concern here. I'm going through the archives of Analyze Chris, and I've noticed that calibration testing is the only real asset, any real influence I've seen there. I've not seen any other influence besides the tour guide.
That's I to be honest, Jason, I was not paying as much attention as I should have. Whoa, and there's some more influence. Gold Farmer. I love this card. For those of you at home, Gold Farmer. Whenever the runner breaks a printed subroutine on this ice, they lose 1 credit. And it has 2 subroutines. in the run unless the runner pays 3, and in the run unless the runner pays 3. So no matter what, the runner is losing 4. Or excuse me. Yeah, no. If they break all these subs, they're gonna lose 4 credit.
Oh, okay. That's just so evil.
Yeah, for 3, the corp gets the ability to tax the runner for 4. I like it. Corpse, I'm with you. I'm on your side.
And that's such an MBN thing. It's like, are you going to leave my cable company because you got nowhere else to be? Oh, okay.
Oh no.
Oh no. What happened? Let me just read what's happened.
So there's a blast from the past. Now we understand why you have 26 tags and a hand of 22. Enter Faust.
Okay, the deal has been made. Please sell your soul. You know what I like to imagine Faust is thematically? I like to imagine that Faust is you selling payment plans to your friends and family.
It's a pyramid scheme.
Yeah, you sell your friends and family's information to other runners, and because you sell the information, they break stuff for you.
I like it. Well, I think at this point, before I think when we had looked at the chat earlier, and I had also asked as well, who do we think is ahead? I think it's fairly safe to say that Bridgman is strongly in the lead now. At this point, Bridgman can get in either through God of War or through Faust. 6 points. Analyze Chris only has 4 credits. The ice on R&D isn't rezzed. Now, they may have something in that upgrade in R&D. It could be a Cyberdex, but it could also be something that will help allow them to res. But I don't know. We'll see.
I
This Faust is strong.
Did you shuffle back with Gatekeeper? I do not know. Hollis, did you see anything happen? Oh, I shuffled 2 back. Okay. So I was looking at the chat there, and I missed the. Okay, seems to be a bit of a misunderstanding. Sorry, I'm just so tense now.
Yeah, I mean,
it shouldn't be so tense, but I was so tense. That's like, oh my god, is there going to be a disagreement? And I can just like dramatically place my hand on my forehead as netrunners disagree. It's like, what happened?
Yeah.
And
this is so insane to me also, because even though I think Bridgman is got the largest advantage right now at the current state of the game, the fact remains I'm still rooting for Analyze Chris to pull this out, whether it's through some other card interaction to somehow squeak out this last 2 points they need to close the game out. I mean, it would surprise me, but I'm excited. I'm excited for what this end game could be in the next few turns.
Again, and again, I'm going to bring it back again to the situation I gave you before. Fundamental changes that need to happen in this game. Oh, okay, never mind. No, never mind. It happened. That was the win. Okay, I'm just going to state this now. I was sincerely thinking that Bridgman was going to have. There's a card that lets you access a number of cards depending on how many tags you have if you pay that money. I can't remember what that card is called, but you pay credits. So what was that? Sorry, I had a voice in the surveillance. Oh, counter. Thank you very much. I got a call from my lovely commentator telling me that it's counter surveillance. Yes, I was expecting to see counter surveillance in this deck, and I was expecting it to be like just a big. For some reason, I'm trying to avoid saying. You know what? I don't know what I'm allowed to say because it's. But I'm going to avoid a big dig deck. There we go. I got it out somewhere without stuttering.
And just like that, it looks like Bridgman was able to close out the game on R&D with the third Project Vitruvius. 3 Project Vitruvius is scored from Bridgman.
Yes, I mean, my only concern is that corporations have no reprieve right now. Again, if there was some way to check runners who have too many cards or too much money. That'd be a thing that we need. I really think that we do need those keywords to help balance out the game, make it so uneven. Because as far as I understand it, in theory, the game is designed to favor the runner to make because runners are what beginners gravitate towards, which is what I believe is what Damon stated to me, and I can see that, and I can't disagree, and I can't fight that. I just think that I would like to see times when I think that there should be times when the corporation is actually stronger than the runner, as part of the meta. Let's say I wouldn't have it one way or the other way all the time, but I think there should be times when the corporation is stronger than the runner, and there should be like a time where runners talk about how I overcame this corporation today, and you should be like, yes, even though it's the meta for the corporations this time, we managed to overcome it.
I
And
agree
I'm
with
gonna
you. I think the game I think the game is better when the shift in power as far as power level is slightly advantaging the corp side over the runner side. Because not only does I think it fit the game thematically, but I think we actually see more interesting gameplay when we're watching a runner trying their hardest to beat out a corp that is a bit more advantaged. You know, so I like that. I agree with that. Yes.
Okay. I want to ask you if you want to pick a particular table. Otherwise, I'm just going to pick people that are going to say it's at random, but I'm going to have reasons just to spy on people because I'm MBN right now.
I'll tell you what. Let's go to. I mean, let's. What are the options here? We've got. I see criminal. I see Wayland. You know, I would be interested to see a Wayland.
Would that be table 7?
Yeah, let's go table 7.
Okay, that was the choice I was going to make anyway. So MBN,
Perfect. Oh wow! So we joined this game just to watch its conclusion. Unfortunately, congrats to both players.
Okay, let me just see the cards involved. Omar, and so what was the corporation? Sorry.
It looks like that table just ended as we joined.
Oh yeah, no,
but
it did.
But we can go to table 31, which has Wayland and Shaper.
We can go to table 31. Okay, you got away from me this time, Swifty and Disperse, but next time I'll get your lovely tech. Right.
Wow. Bad luck. Bad luck.
Oh no. It's to be honest, the games are just finishing up, so that's fine. So I think we should honor your commitment and just wait for a Wayland. There seems to be a Wayland on table 2. I don't know if that's just finished or not. Unless you had something else you wanted to pick.
It looks like table 16.
Yep, table 16. Lovely commentator again. I love this. It's like you're a fancy AI.
Jumping into this game here, table 16, what I'm looking at is I'm seeing we have Geist Armand Geist Walker versus looks like Blue Sun. Wow, what a refreshing thing to see. Blue Sun.
Oh, blast from the past. Okay, I'm a bit triggered by Blue Sun because it's one of those. Okay, now I play Custom Buzzix in XR, right? And I lose like 90% of my games, but it's like I feel like if the game were balanced, like if I had more power, then I would stand a better chance. However, I feel like I've been legitimately beaten by Blue Sun because I feel like how do I put this? I cannot say that the ability is overly powerful. It can be used for very powerful things because Wayland, I think, should be a money faction, and it does give Wayland money, but it doesn't give Wayland money in a way that's completely obnoxious. It does it in a corporate way where it's sneaky, like, oh, I res this ice for free, and now I'm going to claim the money back. Oh, look how much! I'm just claiming my money back. I did all this work. I should get my money for it. It feels so slimy. I love it. Oh, okay. Are you looking forward to any kind of particular playstyle here? Oh my god, diversion of funds.
Diversion of funds?
Yes, diversion of funds.
Let's go. And I mean, it's not like Blue Sun doesn't have an amazing amount of credits to, just help the runner out a little bit. Just listen, you can spare me a few. You know what I mean? Just a few, just a couple, just to get by.
Now, see, this is the way I think it should be. I think Wayland should be overpowered with credits, but I do not believe they should be able to kill you outright with credits like they did in the core set. Because in the original core set, Wayland could just kill you with money. You could just wait for the runner to make a run. Then it's seesaw, scorched earth, and there's no way to beat
Right.
it if the corporation has the amount of money. But I feel like with the new core set, the way it is now, it's possible to survive at the very least.
Right. Yeah. I think another thing to think about, because Jason, we talked a bit about some theory craft, about ways Netrunner could be different. It would be interesting to see Wayland also kind of dig more into their design space to look at maybe having a certain credit threshold allows for certain cards to be played more often. Granted, we're getting into weird, dangerous theory craft territory there, but I think it would be interesting to see those sorts of game design spaces looked at.
You see, here's how I do it. Okay, now hear me out. I would have account siphon back. It'd have to be account siphon would have to be a double. It'd have to remove itself from the game after it's been used. But I would allow account siphon back if Wayland had cards that could be played from 0 that allowed you just to let's say do 2 meat damage if the runner has 15 plus credits. No, more than, yeah. If the runner has 15 plus credits, then I can just give you 2 meat damage. If you've got money, Wayland's going to come after your money. How did you find me, Wayland? Well, you're the one of the most money, so it must have been you.
Mrs. Beatles just jumping on in and said, "Hey, that's my money too, though, right?"
Exactly. Oh, what's this? So what's this card? Sorry, Bravado. Runner protected. Runner so protected by ice, and then when that run ends, gain 6. So you don't even have to break the ice. You can just bounce off the ice. +1 for each piece of ice passed. It gives you incentive to pass the ice. Okay, this is a very good card. So
it's really interesting. I like this.
This is the kind of thing that'd be good against Wayland.
Now it does make me wonder here with Bravado, because basically it says if you're just going to bounce, it's basically no better than what like an easy mark. It gains you 3, right?
You're correct.
You're right in that it does give you the credits back, of course, for the run, and then it gives you 1 per every piece of ice. I just love cards like this, unique ways to give the runner credits back for doing things they already do.
Yes, and again, if I was to put like a limit on it, I would have it like so that it would only work if you had between if you had 3 or 4 cards in your hand. If you have 3 or 4 cards in your hand, then you can play this card, because then it's forcing you to manage yourself, and you can't use it so easily. My only issue with Bravado is that you can use it too easy, and the criminals have access to too much money cards, and it becomes very oppressive for the corporation. That is my only issue with that card, because otherwise it's a wonderful piece of. Oh, and Stargate. Don't get me started.
Beautiful.
On Stargate. It's devastating. The only issue with Stargate is it does not cause meat damage or brain damage. I wish it caused some kind of damage to the runner, because it gets a bit too how do I get this? It lets you skip snare.
It does let you do that. That is correct. It does allow you to skip.
It lets you skip all the danger and lets you play it safe and just poke at the corporation. It's far too safe. Which is what you know what? There was that piece of ice that Jinteki has that happens off trap, that happens off being exposed. And you've got that card that when you install it and then you erase it, then you get the psychic one. You need to play a Psy game.
What is that? Philotic? No, not Philotic. What is that?
Not Philotic, but it's size something like that, and you get net damaged. And I think that kind of I think Jinteki needs more cards like that that does meat damage. And I think other corporations should have like cards that give them benefits. So like if you expose this card, Wayland gets some money. If you expose this card, HB gets a click and the card is removed from the game. Just a little something to make these cards more dangerous, let's say. But that's my disagreement, because everyone here is using wonderful strategies, very, very good strategies, and oh gosh, he's going off the pad campaigns. Oh gosh, oh no, oh god, sorry. I had
yeah, I was like, when I saw that too, I was like, wait, we're running pad campaigns? What kind of game is this? Wow, Gold Farmer once again. I mean, Gold Farmer is such a good piece of ice. You know what? I'm going to take a second here. I think one of the best mechanics that I think that FFG added near the end of the game, and Nisei has definitely explored more of as they've developed cards, is just with the when encountered window on ice. It was prior to that being such a common thing to see. Ice rarely ever triggered. Basically, you chose ice that was either going to be a difficult face check or just a binary, you're out unless you have breaker.
Yes.
Right? And so having win encounter abilities makes the game so much richer, so much deeper, in that it forces some very hard decisions, even if you have answers. Because you can still, as you said before, Jason, there's still some punishment. There's still some pain that comes along with playing the game.
And I agree. I think MBN should be the best at this. And I like that most of this thematic stuff is on MBN side, because that's how MBN taxes you. I think that I think that ability should be different though. MBN's one should be more about like it makes you pay more money or it causes you tags. And I believe that Wayland's one should be like maybe you get like a bit of meat damage, or you might have to trash something on occasion if you meet certain conditions. So for example, if you're famous and then you access this piece of ice, then you take a meat damage. I mean, and you count then you take a meat damage. I mean, I think Wayland cards should harass the runner. They shouldn't kill the runner. I don't think Seesaw Scorch should be a thing. I think it should be 2 meat damage here, 1 meat damage here. But on the corpse, it should be on the corporate turn. And the corporation should be able to like harass the runner, maybe get them down to 0 and waste a lot of their time, but not kill them. I think that's what they should be. Wayland harasses the runner. Okay, so I'm getting too excited here. I've got to start. I'm going to start talking about the game here, because like I'm getting too excited. So what the strategy seems to be that criminals doing the typical. So how do you say the runner's name? The runner's handle per commis.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh wow. Okay. So something to point out here on the on Netrunner Nuts side is that right now Netrunner Nuts has a total of 6 points scored and an Atlas token. And we already know that they've got a hostile takeover, which means they may be able just simply in the game next turn going to grab that hostile takeover and just scoring it out of hand.
That could be a thing. I'm very confused. I love the strategy here. Pardon me. You res all this crazy ice, get the money back. Yeah, it's just basically money, ice, and card control, and that's all this is. And there's the game.
There it is. Yep. So he fetched for that hostile takeover and immediately slammed it and jammed it. This is exactly what I basically expected from this.
I mean, the only reason why I feel that worked is because the runner had to pay taxes on those on-encounter effects. As you said before, those are wonderful on-encounter effects that actually give tags, that actually force stuff to happen, and it's amazing. And I want more cards to have these things. I think that the cards should have these. They should be. Checky should have this, and MBN should have this. And I think those are 2 corporations that should have this.
Absolutely.
And then HB, I should probably make it harder for AI to get through, and Wayland Barry should make it harder for AI to get through, because then the ice is doing all the ice is doing something. or the ice is punishing in one way or the other. But that's just my opinion, and it was a good hand. It was a good move, and lots of here.
I think that at this point, especially looking at Procomus, and someone mentions also, you have to forgive me for being ignorant about this. I believe Procomus, correct me if I'm wrong, is the national champ.
Well,
is that correct?
You can tell, I do not know. We'll have to wait for the lovely AI voice to confirm that. But from what I can tell from Procomus's deck setup, it's very conventional and it is very deadly as well. I mean, Stargate sure only activates once per turn, but you get so much information and so efficient. Not only does it protect against all those nasty surprises, but you get to see 3 cards, so you get to know whether you need to run again or not. So you can run once, you can put like one agenda in the archives, and then you can run again and get something off the top, or you can trash something that's really horrible in the way. It gives so much benefits, and also the ability to bypass so much ice here, with all these ice bypass and the boomerang and these really good breakers. It really does look like a devastating deck. I'm very surprised by how close that. I'm surprised that game wasn't closer. They were both on 6 points, so both of these decks were deadly.
And
all
hey,
right.
Jason, I want to point this out. Someone in chat said something interesting. They said Stargate is basically a Maker's Eye every turn, but safer. You agree with that?
Yeah, that is my main complaint. That is my main complaint. That is it is far too safe. I mean, if they had to access the cards but not be able to steal agendas, or not be able to steal or trash agendas except for through the ability, then that would be you know what be fun for me. They don't have to access cards except for if it's an ambush. If it's an ambush, then they have to access it. And on the side, they have to take some kind of meat damage punishment, because I think the card is too safe. It's not. That's just my personal opinion. Anarch should be suffering.
Yeah, I think that to me is that to me could be also a concern. I understand that Stargate was designed to replace oh goodness, Keyhole, right? But even then, that the power level there is so solid compared to a card like Maker's Eye. You know what I mean? I think that I don't inherently think just because cards are better necessarily means there's a problem. But of course, I can also see how clearly cards being better than things that have come before may definitely it definitely makes you not incentivize playing cards like Maker's Eye. You'd rather play the safer option. You'd rather play the card that allows you to be more risky, make better plays like that.
I would not mind. Here's my conceit. I would not mind Stargate if it was a Shaper card, and let's just say, for argument's sake, if your hand size goes below, if you're not at maximum hand size at the end of your turn, trash Stargate. Because thematically, Stargate could be working as like everyone's telling you what's in the corporation. You're famous, and everyone's like saying, "Oh yeah." So you've got to. Everyone's telling the runner what's in the corporation's hand, and they're getting rid of it for the runner. That's what Stargate does, thematically. And then if you end the turn with less than 5 cards, then it gets trashed because you don't have the fame anymore. Because then you're forced to either run, and if anything happens to your hand, it gets rid of the card. And maybe some kind of ability that forces it to be trashed if another program is trashed, something like that. I think it needs to be unstable. That's it. That's the key word. If another program is trashed, then this program gets trashed as well, and it needs to be unstable. The card needs some kind of drawback. It's really efficient, but if you don't maintain it, it gets trashed, and that's another design philosophy thing. I'm just waiting for. Have we got another game? Oh, that's just a casual game.
Do we know how much time is left in this round, or is it basically all done at this point? All right, so the round has successfully ended. All right, excellent. I wanted to also just take a moment to say, because Jason and I didn't do this individually, but huge thank you and congratulations to every game we've watched thus far.
Oh yes.
Thank you to the players for allowing us to view your games, and because I understand how when someone's watching you play, it can be nerve-wracking for some people, right? I mean, I don't like really always being spectated when I play my games, for sure.
Yeah, this has been wonderful, and I'm sorry that if everyone I'm sorry if I'm like going over card design so much, but it's just like seeing these people play. It's been so insightful because again I only played Cosmos in Exile, so it's like coming out of a cave and it's like seeing this blinding light of wait, you can do that. and these plays have been wonderful, and I like everyone's just so sort of love and kindness, and I don't see that, and I don't see that often anywhere else. And I want to thank everyone for letting me be a part of it. The the thing I'd like to say is, as we're all here to have fun, get some money for charity for the Bell Project. And thank you if you can contribute. Thank you very much. If you can't, that's fine. Just be here and bring some love.
It's all about love. All about love, baby.
There we go. What about love,
baby? The love, baby.
Okay. Now I'm not gonna let you go. I'm gonna bring up a mildly controversial topic here.
Oh, okay. Okay, controversial. Am I ready? Wait, are we starting round 2 already? Oh, okay. It looks like maybe they're just lining up, getting ready. All right, so we've got time. Jason, hit me with that controversial opinion. I can't wait.
About custom botics. Oh, custom botics. Sorry, about custom. Okay, so that custom botics. Okay. Sorry. So that I've got a lovely message from my lovely NBN sponsors here. I'm just making sure that everyone's okay. The power levels of the meta now.
Ooh, it looks like it has started. Oh no. Let's see. What do we want to take a look at here?
I'll let you pick because I feel like I've been getting everything that I want so far because it's been too good.
No. It's totally fine. I'll tell you what. I was kind of hoping we could catch an NBN game, but I don't see the IDs yet, in case anyone was playing NBN. But I'll tell you what. I see right here, table 22. P Space Kitten versus Sparse Seahorse. What a great group of names.
A very good group of names. Oh, no game as of yet, but we're having stuff.
Excellent.